Good evening. Hope you kind of managed this 21-day lock-in period. This COVID cognition talk is to keep you cognitively engaged as and also the children to be cognitively engaged. We have been looking at various cognitive skills during the last week. We have been looking at how chess helps the cognitive processes, how chess helps intelligence, how chess helps creativity, the working memory, the processing speed, the verbal reasoning skills, and various other things. Today, we shall look at how chess helps social intelligence skills. Many times people ask, chess is only two people play. How can you help? How can chess help social skills? How is it possible? That's a very interesting aspect that before we come to that, I would like to tell in India, 39% of children are children. That is almost about 472 million people in India are children. These children develop, that is between 1 to 18, 0 to 18, they develop physically. They have physical development is there, cognitive development is there, and also socio-emotional development is there. Right from the time they're born, the way they interact with the parent and when they interact with others, we find that they are able to interact in many of the areas of their lives. Now, we understand that, thank you, we understand that the social intelligence skills involves the experience of a child, the expressions of a child. Every experience develops a child's socio-emotional development. When we run a club, chess club, when a child comes in, there are different types of emotions that is revealed. Some children will come crying in the beginning of the class. Some children will come, hi! The way they say hi, it's so you really get excited. Some children will not bother about anybody. They will just come in, sit down, and then start playing. So I always tell the coaches, connect with them, communicate to them, talk to them, connect with them, relate to them. So it's very important not only that the coach and the student's relationship, it's also about how a child relates to other children in a group. So you have to carefully watch the expressions of a child when he or she gets up, the way they relate in the classroom, the way they relate in the environment, in a group activity, all that will matter in a child. And also the ability of the child in management of their emotions. Now this is very, very important area of how do they manage the emotions. Some create tantrums, they just want to cry. Some are hilarious. What is the requirement of the particular environment in which they live, and how do they manage their emotions? And also the ability to establish positive and rewarding relationship with others. These would constitute social intelligence, socio-emotional development. Now, you might ask me, how does chess help this? We understand these are required, but in a two-person game, how does it help? They hardly speak anything. You're true. That's right. In chess, you're not supposed to talk to your opponent at all. You can say check, or occasionally you can say checkmate, or we will see that uh, you can offer a draw. That's all that you can do. So in chess, even though they do not speak to each other, hardly one or two words is spoken, still the social engagement, the social skills are developed. How does chess develop these social skills? I would like to say that two important factors in which the social skills are developed is, since it's a two-person zero-sum game, in every game a child either loses or wins or occasionally ends in a draw. How does a child relate to that is absolutely essential. When they are playing the game, we call that, do they have a killer instinct? When we play, you need to have that killer instinct in them that I cannot just lose. They have to bring in the entire focus, the entire cognitive faculty. Now, that is very, very important. Many children, I find that they take up something and they just want to leave it. So the parents are extremely required to see. In chess, they want to win. They have a goal. So the killer instinct is stimulated. Every time when they want to win, something in them makes them to work towards a goal. Now that is very, very important, to have a purpose, to know where they are going and to attain it. And when they attain it, there's joy. So the killer instinct is definitely developed in chess, because every time you know the result within 10 minutes. Today we were playing about 11 of us were playing about 60 games in an hour. So there were 60 results. In fact, I played I think 13 games and I lost one, and I simply did not like it. I was playing with since it's a lockdown, my laptop was in the office. I was playing over the phone and I missed a move, the slip of a move. But you don't like to lose. But how do you manage that? You immediately have to get back to the next game. So we carry forward the emotional joys or sorrows to other things. Another thing that we teach in a child is to read and recognize the social emotions of others. I think many of the adults also, they don't do it. The other person is sad, and the failure to understand is a crime. You need to read the emotions of a person. That's absolutely mandatory. So the child, when they play chess, they look at the opponent. There are ways they know. If the fellow is sad, they know, okay. But they trick it up also. But many things can be seen. If they are tense, you can see that. So the 4 hours they're sitting together sometimes. 3 hours they're sitting together sometimes. So they look at each other and they try to understand they try to read the emotions. And when they read the other's emotion, it's intra as well as interpersonal. You need to know your own feelings. When you're pieced down, the feelings that you have. And then you have to tell yourself, no, I cannot lose. It's true that I'm losing, but still I can win. Still I will try. So the management of emotions. One, to understand your own feelings and to manage that, and also to look at your opponent. And when you win, how do you behave? How do you relate? Your opponent is lost. Can you empathize with him, or just say, okay, I won? So these are extremely important. When your opponent is lost, okay, there are many times when opponent lost and he's trying to say, okay, I lost here. Okay, then we say, probably yes. The humility to understand the feeling that he or she is going through is extremely important. The ability to read, ability to empathize, ability to comprehend, ability to manage our own feelings and also the others are nurtured when you play chess. So I was talking to you about that killer instinct, which is definitely there in chess. So all chess players will be goal oriented, purpose oriented. They will know time management and they will go towards it. Then one other area of chess is losing with grace. Now, as a coach, I had the privilege of certifying about 150 trainers in India. So every time I tell them, chess is not everything. Chess is just a game. When you play with the entire skill. But when you lose with grace. Now, losing with grace is absolutely essential. When you have lost, you have to accept that you have lost. Many times the problem comes because you don't want to accept that you've lost. You say, okay, oh, something happened. No, you have lost. Either you made a mistake, you made a blunder, or planning failure, or strategy failure. When you have lost, you have to accept that you have lost a game. Just hold on, something's happening to my phone. Okay, so just like this, we make many blunders in chess game as well. Suddenly something you make a mistake. It's natural. To err is human. To you make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, you begin to think everything is gone. No, you can come back. So that's what we in a chess game, there are many turning points. You make the first mistake, you lose a pawn, you don't lose the game. When you lose a rook, you don't lose a game. So you manage your emotions and then keep working on it. And when you have lost a game, losing gracefully. I have played with international masters sometimes. When I was a captain for Madras University, once it was a very heated match. The final match will decide who will win the Indian National Intervarsity Championship. I was losing, absolutely losing. I was just holding on with everything. I really wanted my team to win. When I was holding on the position, my opponent simply blundered. And I had to make at least 17 more moves in that 1 minute. But he just pushed the pieces and walked away. So the pressure is there. And probably I think when he went back, next day we said hi and we tried to relate to each other. It is there. It shows up. Some children keep on crying. They refuse to be comforted. Now this is seen immediately when they play the game of chess. We realize, okay, this problem is there. How do I address it? It's only a game, so we can address it. But whereas when it happens in a life, when it happens in a board exam, there's no time for it. So chess helps you to understand how do they manage the emotions when they have lost, when they don't get what they get. It's absolutely essential. It's not only your cognitive functions, it's also your social, emotional intelligence. The ability to play, take up anything with a killer instinct, and also the ability to accept defeat gracefully. I have seen a hunched back child. He was slightly disabled. He could never compete with anybody of his age in any of the competition except chess. And when he won the game in the Russian Cultural Center, in the arena, he will jump around, hunched back, go all around and say, "Mommy, I won." That was a sight that I would always like to remember. How a victory gives the joy. And at times when you lose, how do you take it? Is everything gone? Have you lost everything in your life? No. There's another game coming up. There is still a chance. When I wanted to play a world championship, I started playing from the age of 5. I played my first world championship in the age of 24 and a half. Striving towards what one needs to achieve. I've lost some national junior championship, one game, and I've lost the entire thing is gone. But how do you take defeats? How do you work on it? How do you manage your emotions? How do you achieve your goals? How do you relate to others? The ability to understand others' emotions, the ability to know your own emotions and to work on it. Chess gives even though it's just 2 players playing, when I'm teaching, I would like to put them in a cluster, 4 children together of equal strength. And then we watch them, how do they relate to each other? And these relationships, 4 students and 1 coach, makes amazing impact in the lives of the coaches as well as children. With that, I think I would like to give some time for questions. If any of you have a question, please type in. I've been getting some comments. Yeah, I understand what you're talking. Good. Is there any questions that you would like to say that? I'm interested to see a lot of my friends like Divya and Judith and Elsie and Abel. Wonderful. Is there any questions there? John is there. Wonderful. Divya has been my student. I had the privilege of teaching her for 4 years, I think. She played amazing chess. I and Naswa, okay. Thank you for all the greetings. I think this is one of my last talks for the season because I'm hoping, as all of you are hoping, that we'll open up on the Monday. This week I've been talking to you, and it was such a joy to be with you. It made me not only to cognitively engage, it kept me cognitively engaged. And I would just like to say that we started an online chess club, and about 27 kids have joined our chess center kids, and it gave me so much thrill to equip them to play online with other people. Okay, there's a question: do killer instinct tend to go the wrong way in child's life when they grow? That's a very good question. I do not know. The ability of the coach, the maturity of the coach. You have to tell them in the board and off the board. You don't hate an opponent. You hate your faults. You hate your own mistakes. When I lost a game, like every chess player will go back and do metacognitive analysis to see where they made a mistake and work on it. Certain mistakes it takes time to overcome. It doesn't go just away. Yeah, if it's not properly channelized, your question is right, Chandra. You said social intelligence, but while playing, there's a lot of silence. I think that's a good one. I had got married, and after that, my wife had accompanied me to a chess tournament in Sangli. This is the first time she's seeing a chess tournament in Maharashtra. And for 4 hours, she saw about 100 or 200 people. 2 of them just sitting and looking at a chessboard and not talking at all. That sight, she said, was crazy. No, pin drop silence and nobody is talking. But in the last round, I lost to one Mr. Muralidharan. And fortunately, we were going to Kerala from Sangli. The entire bus route we were talking about the game. So there are times to be quiet, there are times to talk. If you play a 5-minute blitz game, you can talk immediately. If you play a bullet game of 1 minute, you can talk immediately. If you're playing a 4 hours game, you need to keep silence. The more you keep silence, it's said that he opened his mouth and spoke. So the more you keep silence, it's good. You communicate better. Is there any more questions? Okay, so I would like to wrap up. Chess makes you to understand our own feelings. Quickly we assess a child whether he's able to, does he have a killer instinct? If it's not there, we instill in that. The child expression, the way he greets. When I tell the chess players, come and wish the opponent. When you lost, shake hands. It can come in any sports. But in chess, we comprehend better. As I was saying yesterday about the facial recognition, the conceptual thinking skills. You understand why, you not only see they're sad, you immediately understand why they are sad. What makes them sad? You run through the entire plans and strategy, how to make them happy. So it combines. You work on the whole picture, and we try to understand that we read, comprehend emotions, and then we relate to that. We manage our own emotions, we read others' emotions, we nurture it, we have a killer instinct to achieve whatever we want to achieve, and lose with grace. And overall, we try to establish a rewarding and a positive relationship, being peaceful within ourselves and with others. Thank you. It was such a joy to be with you. Hope to see you soon. We'll let you know. Thank you. Bye-bye.